Hi, and welcome to the more 5-minute St. Louis real estate market update for October 2019. I'm Dennis Norman, one of the broker owners at More Realtors, and if you'll give me about 5 minutes of your time, I'll bring you up to date on what's happening in the St. Louis real estate market. Before I get started, though, let me remind you that we are not just the source for St. Louis home prices, sales, and market data, although we are. You might have caught some recent articles that came out of Realtor.com, Housing Wire, and some others where we were the source of the real estate information for St. Louis that was quoted. So we are that source. However, that's just not the only thing we are. We are also one of St. Louis's premier real estate companies, and we have some of St. Louis's best and most professional agents ready to serve you right here in St. Louis. So give us a try. Before I get started too, I'd like to give you an opportunity to get St. Louis's best real estate search app. I mean it, it's the best one, and yes, it's even better than Zillow. And you can get it by going to stlhomesearchapp.com, stlhomesearchapp.com. You're seeing some screenshots of it there. It'll bring you up a map of where you're at and show you all the homes available around you. One of the great features about this, like our website, that is, I think, much more advantageous than Zillow, Realtor.com, and others, is we don't waste your time. We don't show listings in your search results or on your map that are already under contract, just leading you to disappointment. We show things that are actually actively available. Also, I don't know of a real estate search site or app anywhere in the world that displays the MLS data from the St. Louis MLS that is updated more frequently than ours. Ours is updated every 5 minutes. So the data you're getting is the latest and greatest data. The big sites don't update that often, so this will give you the latest data. You can also, from the app, easily, in addition to seeing photos and all the information, you can easily request a showing appointment, and one of our professional agents will be happy to set that up for you. So let's jump right in with the market information. First thing I want to show you here is for the St. Louis MSA as a whole, the entire metro area. 19 counties make it up, and between Missouri and Illinois. And I might point out too here that all the data I'm going to show you, these charts and the reports I'm showing you, this is all proprietary stuff that we have developed in our company for our agents to use and for our clients' benefit. I think this just shows our dedication and focus on professionalism and accuracy and relevancy of the data we provide. We've developed this stuff so that we can make sure we are keeping our agents up to date as much as possible, and they are able to educate their clients as much as possible. And all the data does come from the MLS that the realtors use, so it is the most accurate home sales and pricing data available. So back to this chart here. This is a chart that shows the past 25 months of home sales and prices in the St. Louis metro area as a whole. And you can see I've highlighted the three, the current most recent month, September, and then in September a year ago and September before. And you can see when you look at the chart, you see the seasonality of the real estate market, something to be reminded of. I mean, whether it's a good market or a bad market, same thing happens every year. Prices and sales go up in the spring, prices and sales plateau out, start falling through summer, fall, into winter, and then hit bottom December or January, and then start going back up again. If we're in an overall up market, the peaks each time, when they go back up, in spring higher than they did the year before, and when they fall in winter, they don't fall quite as far as before. But you can see here, if we look at September of this year, the selling price was, median sales price was $197,750. A year ago it was $185,900, and the year before that it was $186,500. So in 18, from 17 to 18, there's actually a little bit of a decline in price, and then and a pretty reasonable increase from 18 to 19. You can see in terms of sales, we're just about where we were last year. For September of 19, there were 2,444 homes sold. A year ago, there were a few more, 9 to be exact, 2,453. And prior to that, though, in September of 17, there were 2,555. So there were about 111 more sold then than this past month. Now, here's something else that is unique to us in our reporting is we look at these at the year-to-date sales for the current year, and then also compare that to the prior 4 years. So just to kind of show in terms of the year thus far, how is it stacking up to the prior years? And this is home sales, and you can see so far through the end of September, the most recent full month, we've had 20,583 homes sold this year. And you can see as you go across the top of the chart there, I put in the numbers for every year, so you can see we're actually at a lower point, or the lowest point we've been since back 5 years ago when it was 19,512. That's not terribly different. We're about 600 off from last year, and then you can see a little more off from the prior year. So we got about 2.7% decline from last year, same time, and then, but over this 4-year period though, we're up about 5.5% though. So nothing to panic over. It's just that's just what's going on there. Here's another chart for the 5-county market. I should mention these most recent ones here are the 5-county core market. These are charts that represent the data for the biggest part of the St. Louis market in Missouri, the city of St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, and Franklin County. The purple line there represents the sold price per foot, good way to do price comparisons, and the dark line represents the days on market. And you can see, again, you get the seasonality of both of them, the days on market and the prices. And you can see how they converge here too. Days on market increase during the winter when prices drop, and do the opposite in the warmer or the better months. You can see the vertical red line I put here to show a year ago, just so you can kind of see the relationship between the two now and a year ago. The gap's widening a little bit between them here, and but you can see pretty much prices and in days on markets following about the same pattern. If I throw a line here on days on market just to show where we were 5 years ago versus today, you can see there's been a little bit of an increase in terms of the time it's taking to sell homes from then, so a little bit of a slowing. The purple line there showing prices, you can definitely see prices have increased, and that may be part of the reason why the time to sell has slowed as well, is because we have had the price increases. Now here's something else that's unique to us that I think is a very good tool to get your head around the market. This is a trend chart, so each one of these dots represent or show what the prior 12 months home sales were ending in that month. So this is a great way to really kind of see what the trend is, not just a little monthly variation, but an overall trend. And this goes back 5 years, and if we look up to the right side of the chart, the most recent few months, you can see the trend has been steadily downward. You can see it peaked back here sometime in 17, give or take. And so the trend is going downward. A month or so ago, it looked like it was going down rather steep. We had a lot of sales reported late for, I believe it was August, but so it's not terrible. It's just a trend downward. If we just looked at this one piece of the chart, maybe the last year or two, it might be kind of depressing because it would just look like this steady downhill ride. But when we pull it out and look at this 5-year chart, you can see that even with the trend downward, we're still, the sales trend is still significantly higher than it was 5 years ago. So I would say we probably just, saw a peak back here, and we'll see what happens going into, as we go through winter and head into spring. A lot of it's going to depend on what's happening in the political climate and the economy, if it continues strong, and as well as supply of homes for sale and whatnot. So we'll watch it as we go. Here's a market update report for the St. Louis 5-county area. We produce these reports for any zip code, city, or school district or county in the St. Louis area, so you can always get these, just ask us for them. But this is a good overview too, and you can see in the top row here, home sales in the most recent 12-month period compared with the prior 12-month period. Again, a good way to look at it. Down about 3%, so not terrible, but definitely down. And then you can see on the right side under the red boxes, prices at the same time were up about 5%. So a little more than a historical norm. Historical norm might be anywhere from about 3.6, 3.8 to about 4.1, somewhere in there. But so prices have risen in the past 12 months, a little more than historical norm. Nothing terrible. If we go down to the bottom here, you'll see for the 5-county area, there's about a 2.5 month supply, so still a very low supply of homes for sale, and still a market that favors sellers. Here's a table that shows the month supply by county, and you can see the various counties. There's a couple of counties there with higher supply over in Illinois, Bond County, Calhoun County, 9 months, 11 months. Anything over, 6 months is usually considered a balanced market. So anything over 6 months would tend to favor buyers. Anything below 6 months tends to favor sellers. And so you can see pretty much everything is, favoring sellers except for Bond and Calhoun, and Jersey, Illinois is approaching a pretty close to a balanced market. Macoupin, Illinois, not too far behind there. But on the St. Louis side and the St. Louis MSA as a whole, definitely favoring sellers. Now here's some other good news is mortgage interest rates. Here's a mortgage interest rate chart showing 30-year fixed rates. And you can see the most recent data that was reported yesterday from the Freddie Mac survey. 3.69% was the average rate across the country for a 30-year fixed rate loan as reported yesterday. And I just went back here and showed where interest rates peaked out back in November at 4.94. It doesn't sound maybe like such a significant change, but when you kind of put some numbers to it here and show like I did here, if you look at like a $250,000 loan, back in November that was going to cost you $1,333 a month for principal and interest. Today it'd only be $1,149, so about $184 a month savings on the same loan from about 11 months ago. To put it a different way, is in terms of buying power for that same $1,333 payment back in November, instead of borrowing $250,000, you could actually borrow $289,000. So you could borrow significantly more. And if you figure this out, you'll see that even with the 5% price increase that I spoke of, you actually have more buying power today thanks to the interest rates. So this does help offset the increase in interest rate. In home prices. So something to keep in mind, and perhaps a reason to move up your buying plans if you're perhaps thinking of waiting. The other thing is now is a great time to buy because we are going into those winter months when prices tend to decline and sales slow down. Yeah, it's just showing here 43,000 more buying power. All right, hey, if you are in the market and thinking of buying or selling, you definitely want to check out St. Louis's best home search site. It is stlouisrealestatesearch.com. Yes, it is the original one, the trademarked St. Louis Real Estate Search site. And stlouisrealestatesearch.com, as I mentioned, updated every 5 minutes. And also backed by real live professional agents here in St. Louis. There's an 800 number at the top. Yes, you can call us and talk to us. Not an India call center, not anywhere else. It'll ring right here in St. Louis, and you'll talk to a real live agent right here in St. Louis. You can also hit our live chat and converse with an agent as well. You'll get me on there a lot too if you want to chat with me about something. And also, if you're curious what your home's worth, you can find your home value online in under a minute by going to stlouishouseprices.com, stlouishouseprices.com. Stick in your address and find out. Now, of course, this is the same as, while this is a very accurate, I think, automated valuation model, all of these, whether they're, no matter what site they're coming from, they're just estimations based upon data. Houses are a very local thing, very personal thing. Two houses that appear identical sitting side by side can have significantly different values based upon a lot of things. So that is why you need a professional agent like the ones here at Moore to really help assess this. But this is a way to kind of get ballpark idea and also see how things may change from month to month. So you can check that out. If you, again, are in the market, go to St. Louis's favorite open house site. You'll find all the open houses coming up. stlouisopenhouses.com, stlouisopenhouses.com. You can search open houses a variety of ways. You can also get a real handy open house report that we produce, and this can be done by area, this can be done by property style. If you want an open house report because you're just, the only thing you're interested in are 3-bedroom, 3-bath, atrium ranches that are in a particular area, West County, St. Charles, whatever, you can give us that data. We can produce a custom report that's always updated for you. Every week you can check and see what's coming up, so let us know about that. And but we produce those. So remember, we're more. You can contact us at 833-383-MORE, or go to morerealtors.com, or you can contact us through stlouisrealestatesearch.com. Till next month, thank you and God bless you.